I find that when people follow artists or celebrities or whoever it is, when that person posts a picture of themselves, they're obviously going to want to engage with it a little bit more, just because, as you were saying earlier, they feel that closeness to that person.
Right.
But kind of piggybacking on this, how do you two determine what you share from you as the artist versus you as a person? Do you have separate like Fenstagrams where you have your own personal, like, this is me and my friends and this is for me and my persona? How do you both navigate that?
I really don't. Like, I honestly like don't have time for friends, but like I have a group of artists that I hang out with, but like they're basically my team. So like we build content together, and that's kind of what we do for fun. But I on the stories is where I post like my personal stuff. Like I'll post me out at the club or me on the beach or like me singing like a little riff or like, you know, doing covers. But like on my page, it's very much like the photo shoots I do, the stuff that I do when I'm going out and like and working, because this is what I do, and this is what I love to do, and I want people to know when they look at my stuff, like, oh, she is, you know, a singer, she's a performer. And like I don't even have enough performing videos on there, but like I want that to be the main thing. It's like, oh, she performs, she sings, like we know it right away. We don't have to search that much. It's just right there for us.
And I agree with you. There's a lot of, I don't even people know, like there's like, I've met a few people that do this for a living, and this is so strange. They're like Instagram, like stylists. So basically they like take your Instagram page and they make sure they style it correct for you. So they make sure the look of your Instagram looks correct. And what she's saying is, you know, when you come to my page, you need to understand what it is immediately, right off the rip. So when people come to your page, I shouldn't be confused. So you won't see pictures of me and my family, you know, on my music page. And the only reason is because I want you to come and just get it. Because the attention span of people today are just ridiculous. So when you come to that page, I need you to understand it and get it like immediately, and that's it. So same thing, like basically my story is more personal. That's me hanging out, being goofy, like showing my personality. Then is polished. This is what I need you to go to and listen to right now, or this is me. And this, like, it's crazy how we've come to this. Like, and this is literally how we all do it without even talking to each other. I know we all do it the same way.
Yeah, for sure. Kind of on this sense, do you feel like there's a lot of interaction? Like, is there too much interaction on social media? Do you feel like we should step back?
So for me, I don't feel like it's too much. Me personally, I don't absorb so much. That's to each his own. So for me, it's like I won't scroll on my Instagram timeline too much, because I don't like, that's too much energy. I'm too invested in everyone's lives, and then I start comparing myself, and you start to we all do that, and I know that in myself, and I don't handle it. So I go on it just to like basically do my business and just come off, and then that's it. So I just it's to each his own. You know what I mean? Like this is my job at the end of the day. For other people, it's not there. But for me, I can't take in all of that, like social media and people's lives and the madness and the trolling and stuff like that. So I just kind of just do my business, and that's it. Like engage with what I want to engage with, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, like to be honest, like a lot of times when we're scrolling, it's like you could get out of a scroll. Let's say you're in like a 15-minute scroll, and then someone's like, oh yeah, what did you see? Or like, what did you laugh at? And it's like, you don't even really know what you looked at. Like, so like, that's the thing to keep in mind too. It's like, well, if people are just scrolling mindlessly like that, like then are they really like engaging? Like, is there a way to get them to engage a little bit more, because, or like get something more, I don't know, like more tactile for them, because like if they are scrolling, like they need to stop and like either read something interesting, or like something needs to pop out at them and like grab them, because like they're not going to remember it in like 10 minutes from now. So like I definitely keep my time down as well. Like if I'm looking at my phone, my screen time, and it says I've been on Instagram or social media more than I've been productive, or more than I've been on my notes, or more than I've been, you know, like doing something else, it's like, dang, like I don't even remember being on for 2 minutes. So like that's crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts. Yeah, they're good.
But then at the same time, we're trying to, you know, we're trying to advertise and post ourselves and share our art with people on it as well. So it's got to be this balance of like, how do we grab people, but at the same time, like, how do we just tell people to go and to the world and like actually be performers and like, you know, perform for people and have them come out to our shows and have them, you know, purchase the music and the merch and support in that type of way.
Yeah, for sure. It definitely is a balance. And then you go to shows a lot of times and you either have artists that are like no phones, or then you have artists that like relish with people with the phones.
Yeah, put the lights up.
Right.
Do you all prefer one or the other?
For me, I don't mind. I mean, I do try to stress to people that, you know, enjoy the experience of the show. You know what I mean? Like, you're robbing yourself of the experience when you're just like this, watching it through this, you know? But at the same time, them doing this is promotion at the same time, you know, for your show. So it's kind of like it's a trade-off, you know, it's a gift and a curse. If this, to me, this is how I feel. If this is the experience that you want to have, then at the end of the day, if you're enjoying yourself, then that's the end game. It kind of throws you off because they're just kind of just like a bunch of zombies like this sometimes. But nonetheless, I mean, it's coming from a good place. Like, it's coming from a good place. Unfortunately, this is just where we are. But I don't take offense to it. I'll say that. I just don't take offense. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you're not recording if you're not into it, but like at the same time, me as a performer, like I'm engaging, like I'm reaching out to touch somebody on the hand. I'm reaching out to like, you know, I'm trying to see and have visual contact with every single person in the room. So when you feel that disconnect, it's almost like, okay, do I still do the visual thing with the phone? Like, and is this like, is this okay? Like, do I just like, you know, perform for their phone for a second? And I don't know, maybe that's a funny way to get out of it, but like, I definitely think that it is promotion, it is extra, but at the same time, like, you're there to enjoy an experience. So like, you know, I don't like like watching videos after. Like, I know I've recorded like maybe the 10-second or like the quick Instagram video, but like I don't really like watching them. So I always was confused, like, do people go home and like watch a 45-minute concert on their camera now, like that they have it all videotaped? Or are they posting it somewhere? Or like, I don't know. But at the end of the day, like, it is for the fans. So if that's what they want to do, they can do whatever they want to do. But
absolutely.
But I want to reach out. I want to touch you. I want to, like, you know, maybe grind on you in the front. Like, whoever made it to the front, like, let's go. Let's have this.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's a content creator. So let's see. What else? Both of you went viral in your own ways. Would you like to talk about that?
Sure. So I started off doing a bunch of like remix covers of like really popular songs and doing my own renditions to them. One of the big ones that I had was Rihanna Work with the Drake record that she had that came out. And that one just, man, that was it. Like, that one was just really huge. It was really big on Facebook at a time when the algorithm was a lot more, you know, a lot different, obviously. And it just really just took off, and there was no secret to that. It literally just took off. Just posted the video, and it just took it by storm. Maybe it was the right lighting, you know what I mean? Everything was just what it needed to be viral, if that makes any sense. And there's really no secret to that at all.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I mean, my case was I was in a soul band, and I started working at a studio, and then just started writing with this other producer because he was like, oh, I need a vocalist, and then I ended up writing this song for them. We posted it up, and it just started getting tons of views instantly. And like I said, the whole combination of the SoundCloud hype factored in, and like the views just started skyrocketing. But then we got like a big post by like a celebrity endorsement, basically by the LES twins, which are two amazing dancers. They've danced with Beyonce and plenty of big pop artists. So like I always like dreamed like, oh, like watching Beyonce Sundays we used to do. And I was like, yo, like the Les twins are gonna be dancing for me one day. And then like it was all of a sudden like, this is happening. Like my dream is like happening. And like when they posted the video, you know, it goes to like 800,000 views, And then every dancer in the US and even all over the world wanted to post a video. So then it was like, oh, everybody's posting a video. Like, post your video of this and this and this. And so then there was videos in all these countries. And, you know, right now we're at like 130 million streams, and that's just Spotify alone. And it's just been an incredible experience. So like going from that huge hype to releasing my own music, and then even releasing features and seeing like the success in those, but like not the same type of success, like millions of views, but not hundreds of millions of views. It's like, okay, like how, like what is it that, you know, like I feel like it is like having people involved, like having the fans involved or celebrity involved in like, okay, like I'm going to promote this because I like it. And then so many people, it's like it's being introduced to at once. So then everyone can kind of have that experience together. It's like, oh, we're all at this party together. Like now we're all releasing videos from this party. So I think like that greatly helped, like that social media, YouTube storm of people. Even like, oh, what was that app? Like there was the app that
Vine?
No, not Vine. It was like one where you could post yourself dancing to the song.
Oh, like Musically?
Yeah,
TikTok and
so then
TikTok and Musically.
Right.
We did a Musically campaign, and then like we had everyone on Musically like going to this song. Now that was the #1 song on Musically. So it's like a lot of those campaigns like helped a lot, and it's no doubt that like the power of social media if you get it into the right hands. But I definitely think that having that influence of someone saying, yeah, I vouch for this, and then everyone just like kind of following suit, like that's kind of what we do with commercials and with TV. Like we just watch what's there and what's given to us, and like obviously it's gonna, if it's good, it's great, you know, it's gonna go far. But if it's not so good, it's also gonna do a certain amount of numbers as well. So I think being in the right place at the right time is like a definite.
Sure.
Yeah, that definitely has a part to do with it.
I had a Chris Brown post one of my covers one time for 30 minutes, and he took it down. But that 30 minutes was like life change, like just to be exposed for, even for that little minute moment was just insane. Like when it comes to the celebrity endorsement, like she said, like that really is another plateau, a stage of viral. Like when that happens, but it gets to them from being viral. Like they see it, like they're on, like just like us, like they're on it just like us. It's kind of nuts to see that like happen, but it's by chance, it just happens.
Well, one more mention that we do have a Q&A thing. So if any of you watching have questions, just drop it in the little box down below. But speaking of kind of celebrities, are there musicians or celebrities that are doing things on social that you're like, wow, because you all kind of alluded to it, but is there anyone that like right now you're just like, wow, so-and-so is being super innovative, or so-and-so is doing something really interesting?
Someone that
I mean,
like,
I really love like Billie Eilish. I love what she's doing. Like she has a younger audience. She's obviously younger, but like she's just being herself. And then I like the contradiction of her music, and it's a dark music, but it's like it's got this like folkiness to it. But then you have this like contradiction of how she's dressing and what she's wearing, and I think that really like pushes up against each other, and it makes you go like, what the fuck? But then it also makes you like love it, because you're like, oh, she's being totally herself. Like there's no way that she like put this on, because like these are two totally different worlds clashing, combining, and exploding almost. And I just love, I love to like watch her stuff.
Yeah, no, she's great.
That's pretty crazy. You know, to be honest, when you say that, like I just agree with you. Like when it comes to her, she's visually, she's just, I'm hypnotized. Like she's just a hypnotizing person. Like I can definitely say that as far as new acts and stuff like that really just catch my eye every time when I'm not even trying, she's definitely one of them. And I think I can definitely say that is probably a huge part of her success. Like her music is amazing, hands down, which is always the like first, but just her imagery and just her in general, it just, you listen to her music and then you see her and it's just like, huh? And you're right, it kind of makes you interested. Like it just causes it. And I think that's important to make people feel like,
for sure. She also has a really huge fan base.
Mega huge, mega huge. And think about it,
Yeah.
she to me, she reminds me of like the misunderstood teenager. So it's like, how many of those people exist? Like that's her
Yeah.
audience. So
Yeah,
to
no, and
me,
they worship her, and
oh
she's so
yeah,
gracious about it.
right.
It's really,
It's a perfect storm. It's a
yeah,
perfect storm. Mm.
absolutely. I guess we have a few more questions, and we'll go to like the Q&A. But Devon, I know you have your music on Instagram stickers. Have you noticed any way that that's affected your streams?
You saying like the Instagram stickers, like
Yeah, like the music sticker.
so the way that it's been working is Facebook finally monetize music on Facebook. So now musicians are getting paid from Facebook through, for instance, TuneCore, etc. It's not great, I'll be honest. It's not a lot at all. It's literally probably super pennies compared to like Spotify and Apple Music, but it is something. And I have noticed that I am getting paid from people reposting in their stories and stuff like that. So it's new. It's brand new. We're not getting much for it, but at least we're getting something from it. We are monetizing it now. Especially with TuneCore. It's literally just a little button you click and just check it off of Facebook Music, and that puts in Facebook and Instagram whenever someone plays it. So it is something cool and new that I'm using a lot. Like I'm definitely promoting a lot. Like, oh, put it in your story, like, and just try it. Yeah, it does add to the streams.
And you brought up a very good point that a lot of people don't connect, is that to get on Instagram, because a lot of people ask, how do I get my music on Instagram? They do need to go through the Facebook music monetization.
Right.
So
Right.
A+ for you, sir.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Hey, listen, for a while I was like, how is everyone like in their stories with the, you know what I mean? Like for a while. And then I looked one day on TuneCore uploaded, so I'm like, oh my God, it's right here. And it's literally a click and it's done. It's in, and it's pretty simple. Yeah. I highly recommend it. If you're not, then it's there. It's right there. Yeah.
Yeah. And are there any like new emerging platforms that you're into, that you're checking out, that you have your eye on, that you're testing?
Ooh, some new platforms. So I'm really big on bands in town. How do you explain what that is? It is a concert app. So it's basically based on concert, and I'm getting more into that because I'm noticing that there's an algorithm to it, and it's the recommendations with the artist that it's kind of like recommending you to. And bands in town, you can do like campaigns to like niche to like, for instance, for me, it would be like Chris Brown's fans, or, send an email to these. Like I've been playing around with bands in town a lot for like shows and stuff like that. And that's been super effective.
Nice.
I like that. So that's like one thing I'm really like investing in, and Spotify as well. I'm investing heavily in Spotify right now. Yeah.
Nice. And that's actually like a really smart thing that I think a lot of musicians, because it's so obvious, they might not think to go to,
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. Do we have questions from the Q&A that we should start answering?
Yeah, there's like 10 over here.
Okay, cool.
See them?
All right. I'm gonna look at this other screen.
Gotcha, no problem.
So an anonymous person asked, how long did it take you to find your specific target audience? And either of you can answer these. Jump in if you have an answer.
I feel like that answer is like so like is constantly like moving, but like I think every artist really wants that younger audience that's like going to school and talking about it. Like the more people that are talking about it is like what you want. So like I love that like 16 to like 25 audience. But like that doesn't exclude the fact that I love like my 40-year-old fans as well, and like that I respect like a 12-year-old fan is awesome as well. My content is a little like more explicit sometimes, I say, but I definitely think that it has a purpose, and that like I'm a messenger of like whatever message is coming through me, and that like I'm supposed to ask questions and be, a little more open so that other people can learn how to be that way. Because I think it's a more fun way to live.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And I'd say the same thing. My demo is like the college age, like kids going to college. But I've been doing it I have fans that I've been doing it for so long, like they are literally growing up in front of my eyes. Like I have like this one kid that he came to my first show when he was 12 and now he's like 16, 17. And that's so strange seeing him growing up. So for me, seeing that, I know in my head, like, okay, well, I should be growing up as well with them. Like my stuff, when I first started, was a little bit more, not to say childish, but the content now is definitely a lot more mature. Like my brand, my whole thing has definitely transitioned to that. So it's just like, just knowing your demographic and just knowing that, hey, it's been a year that this guy or girl has been here. What do you think is going on in their life? Like, how can you relate to them? You know what I mean? It's just that kind of thing. Like you start to kind of get into that world when you have your fan base going and stuff like that. And obviously as an artist, you're always thinking, what's next? What's next? What's next? So I think that's just super important and like to think about. Just like your fans will come to you. Like your fans will come to you for sure. And you'll figure it out. You have no idea who your fans are. Like just know who you're talking to. Like I want to talk to the single moms, or I want to talk to this kind of person or that. And I guarantee you, when you go to your shows, you're going to see exactly who your fans are. Like, oh wow,
True.
Yeah, it's like kind
son, a mom, and like it's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like kind of a good thing to think about in the back of your head with social media is like, who am I trying to talk to, and how is the best way to get to them? Like,
Sure.
How would they look for something? How would they search for something? And so the same thing with, as echoing what both of you are saying is like, yeah, doing the same thing with your fan. Like, what would they want to be listening to? What would they want to be? So yeah, very good. And Shadaria, apologies if I mispronounce your name, she asked, how do you keep up with social media with your busy schedules? I think we talked a little bit about this, but if you wanted to kind of go specifically, feel free.
I think that like limiting it, like I think keeping it to a certain hour or a day and time a day so that you can just like go through and be creative. I do it in a creative way. Like I always have to have an intention behind what I'm doing. Like I don't just want to be stuck in the scroll, which sometimes, you don't even realize you do it and you're there. But like to be really intentional with my schedule, I like scheduled out by the hours. So I'll be like, okay, so during this time, like I'm going to go on social media and I'm going to post and I'm going to like interact with people. I'm going to comment on a lot of people's things and like really engage, but then I'm not going to like be on for another like big period of time, but just like being very direct and intentional about like what I'm doing. I think that's how I keep up with it.
For me, when I post something within the first hour, it's like, okay, if I'm going to post something on my timeline, like in my head, I'm like, this is a big deal. This is going to my timeline. It's a moment, So when I do that, I always say like, okay, at 3:00, I'm about to post this and I'm going to be on all my socials for an hour. I'm going to be commenting. I'm going to be looking at seeing you know what I mean? I'm just going to be engaging for that first hour. I'm with you. Like I'm right there with you, like living it out with like my fans and my supporters and stuff like that and just going with it. And then it's like over time, when it comes to structuring out, like I have a Facebook group that I have with my supporters, and basically that Facebook group is literally, I created it so that, which is dope. If anybody doesn't know about the Facebook group, that thing is it's so amazing. It's amazing. You basically can create like a community where all your supporters know about each other, because I always feel like when people know like, oh snap, there are people just like me that have you in common, like as the artist, like it's insane. Like I'll go in there at 3 a.m. and they're still in the chats talking to each other, like create that culture. Like it's really, really dope. Like those kind of things. So having that on the back burner, like I'm not even really on my timeline anymore. I'm more just in that group, and we're just, it's so much for me because it's just like we're just focusing on like what we believe in as what I'm projecting to them as far as like the positivity and all those types of things. So really, I kind of stay off of social media. I go do my business, and then when it comes to posting, I'm there. And then maybe here and there, I might get on, but I just don't even bother scrolling on the Instagram. Twitter, I like to get my news and stuff like that from. Like every social platform has a different like thing that I like to use it for. But Instagram is one thing that is kind of like devilish to me. Like it's just, like she said, you start to get on that scroll and it's over. You lose your entire day. So I think it's just good to just kind of know like that you're on it and just like understand like, yo, like space it out, like schedule yourself out, like stay away from it, because it can be, see it as a creative, like it can be super damaging.
Yeah, totally. Actually, with your group, do you offer exclusives or like things for the fans that follow it?
Absolutely. So for instance, I have, so it's like this. So it's like a culture. So I have certain supporters that I know are like my diehards that are literally moderators of the group. So I like christen them as moderators. So they have like this special power in the group where they can like take people out, delete posts. Like they have special privileges. And it's like everyone else knows like, oh, those are the moderators. And it's really dope because now you have a culture where your supporters feel more respected. So it's just like, it's just so much better. So I give them discounts. Not everyone can even join the group. You have to like answer like this long series of questions. So the group quality is really good. Like these are real supporters. Like it's so, I literally just got put onto it maybe 2 months ago. So I'm just having so much fun. It's so amazing. It's really, really good. Like it let me connect with like the diehards.
Yeah, no,
I'm
I
talking
mean,
to them every.
you're talking, circling back to the things we were saying, like Facebook, you know, the algorithms and groups. So part of what Facebook has been trying to do is to kind of push people more toward groups and interaction and that kind of one-on-one engagement.
Yeah.
So you have good instincts there.
Yeah, it's working.
So we have a question from Tony who asks about what do you think about IGTV? Are either of you on it? Are you using it? Do you watch it? More infinite scroll wormholes?
I actually really like it. Like I really enjoy Instagram TV. Like when I am scrolling and then I hit a TV thing, it's like I get like more involved. It's like more than just that like 10-15 second thing. So I really enjoy it, specifically for like people who have these channels that are like very creative and very just like constantly doing something new, innovative. But I don't use it myself. Like I haven't yet. I have had ideas of like little shows that I want to do. I went to acting school, so I'm like, yo, I have some ideas, some comedy stuff to add into it. But I think that's just like another level to like what I will be doing as my social media transforms and like I just went through a big brand shift. So like as I'm like becoming and more of myself and like showing people more of what the art is that I'm doing in all aspects, I think like Instagram TV is definitely a dope thing to add to that.
For sure.
I noticed with the IGTV, and this is so funny, going back to the algorithm, that Instagram kind of wants you to post IGTV videos. So I've noticed like maybe like a 20% more engagement on video when I do IGTV stuff. Like I've tested like, all right, let me try to post a music video over here. Let me see what it does. And I noticed it does better as opposed to me posting the 1-minute clip. The only issue with that IGTV is like as a musician, as an artist, as we constantly be content, it's like I'm trying to take my people from Instagram to go to YouTube, or you understand what I'm saying? So it's like if I post the same thing, you know how it is. If I post the same thing on YouTube that I'm posting on IGTV, now my YouTube is a little hit because the content is on IGTV. So it's like it's hard to really decide how to spread out your content and like how to create your ecosystem. So that's IGTV. When they added that, I was just like, all right, well, what do I do over here? And I was thinking the same thing as him. I was like, all right, cool. I'm just gonna create something completely different over here to like, you know, build on this platform, because I don't really want to post my music video over here because then that takes away from the platform I'm trying to get you to go to. So it's just like IGTV is cool, but when these platforms come out, it does create another ripple in our ecosystem. Like, all right, how do I exploit this and how do I spread it out? You know, so it's something to think about, and it's something I've been kind of like playing with. Like she said, I'm playing with it. Like, okay, I'm gonna try this over here, like, and figure it out. So who knows?
Wait, go ahead.
Oh yeah, keep going.
No, go.
I think it's also like important to know that we don't really have to stretch the same content out through all these platforms. Like I think that the cool thing about Instagram is that it's about you. And I think as an artist, like you want to be the artist that steps onto a stage and then everyone is just clapping. You haven't done anything yet. They're clapping because you stood there and you're the person there. Like, yeah, they love your music and they love everything you do. And like, you could drop a shirt on the floor and they would pick it up and love that. But like, I think it's really just about like, okay, like these are different creative ways that I can, you know, what could I do in this area? What could I do in this area? But like not having to just like, okay, now I have my music video, so let me just put it in on every single thing, because it's like I have to kind of like, you know, brainwash everyone with it. But it's like if they love you and what you do, like they're gonna go search, they're gonna do that extra click and that extra push, and they're gonna like go look and see what your pictures are and figure out like, oh yeah, like I really like this person and I'm gonna love everything they do. So I think it's cool to like, okay, what am I gonna do with Instagram TV that's different than anything I've ever done before that they can only find there, and then
That's
like target like that group.
Yeah, that's kind of like what I was just about to say, that was kind of piggybacking off both of you, is that IGTV can be a part of your content strategy overall. So like, yes, the music video is living on YouTube, but IGTV can be the place where the behind the scenes clips are, or the outtakes are, or the this is, because you do have more than that minute, and it is for the fans that want more of you. Maybe it's like you in the studio, like composing the track, you know, so it can just be a different part of your content strategy. And you do want to avoid the like cookie cutter pasting this piece of content to like different platforms, because, you know, each platform, as you all have been saying, has its own, you know, followers, its own vibe, its own use to different people. So
for sure.
Somebody named Levins, it's a long question for you, Devon. I followed Devon for a long time, and earlier this year, he made a big change brand-wise. I want to know how he felt making that drastic of a change. Any fear in the process, or were you not really worried about the reaction of the larger audience and targeted the people that wanted that change?
So kind of what Em said earlier, like she said, I heard her say yourself, you said you had a big brand shift that you like just had. So obviously I'll speak for myself because I don't know, but my situation with mine was, you know, I just needed a change. Like the brand that I previously had just didn't coincide with who I was anymore, you know, for me. So I decided to just completely rebrand, and I did the rebrand to basically show my fans, like, listen, this is where I am now. So it's like I had to rebrand in order for them to understand like the type of music I was going to be doing and stuff like that, as opposed to just kind of just throwing it for a kink, like what's happening. Like you have a brand, so it's like you have to kind of curate that as an artist, and there's certain things that people expect of you because they've been following you. Like these people are invested in you. So for me, I wanted to take them on a journey, and boy, I took them on a journey to this rebrand, like to get here. But it's been a beautiful process, and it's built an even stronger foundation because it's like they saw that transition and that turmoil, and then they came with me, and it's like now we're like stronger than ever. And it was scary because I didn't know what was gonna happen. I didn't know if, you know, I was gonna lose everyone. You know, I didn't know if they were gonna like the new music, etc. But it's been the greatest thing in the world. So it was scary, but you got to take chances. Taking chances that's what separates like the superstars from just the people that just never ever make it. So it's like you got to take chances. You got to do what's true to you. Like you have to do what's true to you at all times, and that was it.
Hell yeah.
For sure.
I mean, I think there's a constant growth as well. Like as a person, like you're gonna grow into something new, and for me specifically, it was going from being this independent artist who did everything on her own, who went viral, to being, okay, no, like I'm a top 5 contending artist and I'm a pop star, and like, you know, I don't like, don't fuck with me. I'm not just this white girl that can be walked over. Like I have like a very strong opinion, and I'm gonna say like what I want, and I'm going to be sexual, and I'm going to be, you know, like a little bit like I'm gonna be out there, and I'm gonna say something that is gonna contradict what you think about me or what you thought about me. So I think it was definitely like cutting ties with like the old me and being like, okay, well, I'm this new girl and I'm not afraid to say some shit.
There you go.
And it's working. Like I really love it. Like I love the response that I'm getting from people, and I love the music that's coming. Like I have a new album coming, and it's more confessional, more bold, more like breathtaking than anything I've ever created. So like in order to release something like that, you really have to like let go of what was, and people will either move with you or new people will come in because they like that fire. So I think it's just
Absolutely.
like wherever you're going, it's going to attract the right people and the right things.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And there's so many like artists that do this constantly. Like you have like Madonna, like Taylor Swift did it, Miley Cyrus did it. You have like the Jonas Brothers who like, you know, so many, like One Direction when they all went solo, you know.
Yeah.
It's part of the artist lifestyle, I guess.
Absolutely.
let's see. Somebody asked anonymously, how did you find your sound? What is the process of figuring out how you as yourself have your style of music? Like what is unique to you?
Mm.
So for me, and with the recent sound, what I transitioned over was I really was looking for something different. You know, you're an artist, right? We've been making music forever, and as we were kids, we always mimic. Like that's how, I don't care who you are. Like as an artist, like when you were growing up making music, like us as adults making music, we mimic. Like when we were younger, like I mimicked all the people I like. There's always that period in your life where you're just copying. You know what I mean? Because you're trying to figure out who you are. So for years, I was mimicking. I kind of found like a sound that I like. And then like we had the rebrand, I decided like, okay, I want to try something different. I want to be bold. I want to be new. I just want to try something. And I fell in love with like this lo-fi music. And I just started to do my research on it and understand that like where it came from and stuff like that. And I literally just took that sound and started to produce that within what I already was doing with like the R&B and hip hop. And it's just like this whole new sound that just kind of came out. And that's all with just throwing paint at the wall. Like I said, just trying it, being scared to death, you know, when it comes out, like this is new. I don't know if anyone's going to like it, and just trying something. And it's like I said, for me, it's just been the greatest thing in the world. So literally taking the things that I like and just trying to put my own, like put your own who you are on it. And that was basically it. So the lo-fi like genre with the R&B and hip hop stuff is just like, that's pretty much my sound at the moment. And that's it.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've always done like very intimate, close vocal, and then like the sound around it, the production. I work with people all around the world in different types of music, whether it's electronic music or disco or like funk, jazz, and then now pop music a lot. But I think that like even with this new album, it's like we would just go in the studio and I would work with musicians and hum stuff out and be like, I kind of hear this, or like I really want to be dancing on stage, I really want to be like high energy, and that's how I wanted my sound to go, because I knew like I'm gonna perform this and it's gonna be big. And then I think I'm half of it like scares the shit out of me, and half of it's like no, like I'm so confident, because like as an artist you are confident in what you do. I would hope that you're confident in like what you're creating, but like yeah, like I don't know what people are gonna think, because it's unlike anything I've ever heard, but it's very confessional, very dramatic, and very raw and real. And this stuff I'm saying is not it's not easy to say. Some of the songs I hear and like I go instantly into tears because it puts me back in that moment. So I think that like the sound is just it's it's being with musicians in a studio and really just allowing them to be who they are, and me to be who I am, and let's just all be together in this. And I have an incredible director now, so that's also been an amazing piece of my journey. But yeah, pop music, I think just being in that field of radio and pop and being able to be heard in the middle of a desert and being able to be heard like in someone's car, or like I think that's like my goal, is like how can I reach the most amount of people.
Nice. So I think we're running low on time. So Lori had asked, what advice do you have for new artists to start building a strong social following?
So my suggestion is, before you write your first song, before you start coming up with this marketing strategy, etc., the first thing you need to do is decide who you are as a person and who you're talking to. So that's always my first thing. I always say, like, decide who is your audience, who are you making music for, and who are you as a person. So if you're the guy that's the underdog, that's always been picked on, then you are the underdog. That's who you're writing for. You're writing for those people. If you're the popular girl in school that always got what she wants, then guess what kind of music you're writing? You're writing that kind of music into that audience. It's just figure out who you are, accept it, who you are, and then decide, this is my audience. I'm writing for these people. And I promise everything will fall under that umbrella. Once you understand who you are and what music you're writing, then you can kind of just, everything will just go under there. And guess what? Those fans are going to latch right onto you. Like we said, look at Billie Eilish. Like, like, you know what I mean? Like, look at her brand and look what she does, and it just attracts people. If the music, once you get the music good, especially, it's just gonna just transcend. So figure out who you're talking to, who you are, and from there build everything else out. Then go to the studio and write the song and stuff like that. And then when you listen back to your song, ask yourself, does this make sense? Like, is this who I'm talking to? Like, will they get this? Is this for them? And that's basically it. That's how I like to go about it.
Yeah, I mean, I would say I love that. Like, definitely find out who you are. Like, that's like such an important question. Like, who are you? Like, and what are you bringing to this like whole industry? Like, because you are unique, and like the world may really need what you have. So it's like knowing who you are is like such a good start. But I honestly think like to not worry when you're first putting stuff out. Like, don't worry about like as who you're promoting it to. Like, I would just put stuff out, put music out, like start experimenting and learning who you are and what you want to be. And then like there's always time to put strategy into it later. Like, you don't have to do it how everyone else how you think it gets done, or people don't just become, you know, like these famous like artists instantly. There's either a lot of money involved and like big teams, or you have, you know, some type of celebrity endorsement that helps like get the word out. But like, I think putting music out and showing like, hey, this is what I do. Do you guys like it? Really testing the waters and seeing what people are drawn to, and getting your voice, getting comfortable and confident in the voice that you're releasing or the music that you're releasing. And then like as things pick up, then you can start like following the patterns. Like, okay, like people like this, or people like this song more, so I'm gonna like start like, you know, going in that direction. And then even asking people like, what do you want? Like, what do you guys want from me? Like, do you want live covers? Do you want, you know, me to just do a freestyle every Saturday? Like, what do you guys want? And finding it out that way. But there's no one way to do it. There's a million ways, and you have to just like, you know, play around. And if you're in this for life, and if this is what you really want to do, then like get ready, because it's a long trip and it's fun as fuck, but it's also hard.
Yeah. It's treacherous on the mind. Yep.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, I think we're like running out of time, but just want to let everybody know that if they signed up, they get a 20% off coupon that they'll get in their email for their first distribution if they haven't distributed through TuneCore yet. And the next live session will be on the 20th of April, talking about music publishing, which is a lot. So I'm sure people
big money, baby.
So I'm sure
publishing right now. So
publishing is everything. You got you.
Yeah, so you guys will be watching, I'm sure.
Yes, I'll be tuned in.
I will. Yeah.
Well, thank you both so much. It was very insightful, and I hope everyone watching had a good time as well and learned some things. And yeah, we'll see you later.
Absolutely.
Bye.
Thanks for having us.
Take care.
Yeah.
Bye. Did you sign up?